Well, look what the cat dragged in. I'm back here at Happy Jewelers in Fullerton, California. I didn't think you guys would let me back.
I mean, we love you.
I appreciate
Are you kidding me? Like, I missed you. I was wondering where you were.
I appreciate that. My viewers still write to me about this location, and it makes sense. The best in the business with crazy watches, specifically some insane ones in Danny's hands right here. So I'm here with Danny from Happy Jewelers. What do you have in your hands right now?
I got 2 platinum Land-Dwellers. I got one with a TDR bezel, and I have one with bling. So, because I was like, one's not enough. You might as well have 2.
Now, would you agree that these are kind of a polarizing release from Rolex?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, for me, it brings me back to the oyster quartz.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and they have one right here.
Yeah. I think they literally went kind of like with this design. You got the calluses on those hands. I've been working out.
I've been trying. I've been pumping some iron.
Oh, I like that. Ask the viewers which one they would pick. Because they have this in stainless steel too, right? So
right.
Obviously the platinum Land-Dweller is like, the plain one is 160K and diamond bezel one is 210,000, right?
And this is 8,500, so.
Yeah, and where the stainless steel, you can pick it up.
Or what is that, 65 or?
6,500.
6,500. So 2K discount, guys.
What do you think of the bracelet? Like for me, when it first came out, I was like, all right, like I wasn't sure. But the more people I saw with it, where it's like actually, when you see it live in action in the wild and you see it on somebody's wrist, it has a certain presence that Rolex has never had. It looks good.
So when the Land-Dweller was announced, people argued that it was still playing it safe. It wasn't different enough. It wasn't a crazy complication. It was just a weird case. And I'm here being a vintage nut saying, no, they kind of did a more futuristic, more refined version of an oyster quartz.
Let me ask you this. Would you do the oyster quartz or would you do the Land-Dweller?
Okay, so the truth is, ideally, I would go for both because this is such a sign of the times. And just from like an horological significance standpoint, having a Rolex with a quartz caliber in it, with this edgy, like pseudo retro futuristic case is awesome. But obviously, new kid on the block.
Don't forget to see their case back too.
Dude, insane, gorgeous.
Yeah.
We actually have 2 different ones here with the iced out option on the bezel. We're gonna get some macro footage in there for you.
Yeah. I mean, these are beauties. I mean, me personally, I think the Land-Dweller was probably one of the most exciting releases that Rolex has done in many, many years.
I agree.
Look, sports models are cool, right? They came out with the Bruce Wayne.
Right.
But it's similar to what they are. Yeah. Right? I mean, you have the Pepsis, you have the Batmans, you have the normal GMT, which is a black on black. This was something so out of left field for Rolex that I liked it because Rolex doesn't do stuff like that. Rolex is kind of like, it's that, that person that, they go to work at a certain time, they clock out at a certain time, they have the same dinner, they have the same drink at night.
They try not to deviate too far one way or the other. It's
but they're starting
contained.
to.
Now especially, we don't have it here, but there's macro footage of the, turquoise dial.
Yes.
That came out of left field. People were like, what? Myself included, I was complaining, like, what are they thinking? But you see it in person, you realize, oh, it actually works.
Yeah. I have the Ruby. I have it here.
Oh, can we show it?
Yeah.
You guys want to see it?
Right now with Rolexes, gem sets are very hot, very popular, right? And they keep going up in value. And what I've actually been seeing too is it's making the older models go up as well too.
Interesting.
See, like this right here, this is the white gold, all factory, Ruby Daytona Charm.
Insane. Move that thing around. We'll get some macro footage of it, but it's gorgeous.
1.8 million.
It's a lot of watch, guys. And it's the little details, the inner inking on the sub registers with those ruby, it's
insane.
And it's heavy.
And this actually comes with a special wooden box too.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. For those of you who don't know, the setting actually goes all the way around the crown guards. So it's pretty much no space left untouched here.
I mean, it's like out of this world.
Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Definitely a treat to actually hold this in my hands right now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we took a look at about 2 different Land-Dwellers. We took a look at a crazy Daytona. But my question for you is, for the people who are maybe on the fence or kind of non-believers of the Land-Dweller hype, what would you say, and what do you think you would like to see from that series coming out maybe in the future?
For the people that are not believers, they probably haven't seen it in person, or they haven't seen it, like I said, in a while on an actual wrist.
Right.
Because once you see it on the wrist, the presence that it gives off is stunning.
It's
right?
gorgeous. It's sharp. It plays with the light so well.
Yeah, what I would like to see in the future is I would like to see a two-tone version. I would like to see a smaller, mid-size, and I'd like to see different dial colors.
I think the dimension argument is something that is consistent online.
Yes.
People think that there's not enough options and it's not versatile enough for a large group of people, which I kind of get.
Yeah, which I think Rolex will do.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be part of like the Datejust model.
Right.
They're broadening it. They'll come out with they'll probably first come out with a steel and gold, and then they'll probably come out with a 31 millimeter, and then they'll come out with a normal round diamond bezel.
And my favorite is actually one that I believe you guys sold like yesterday. So the day before I showed up, you guys had an Everose, didn't you?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, we had many of them.
you want to get your mind blown, take a look at one of those in person. It's
pretty.
It's gorgeous. It's
Pretty,
absolutely
because the way
gorgeous
that
watch.
they do the brush finish, it's not like, it doesn't really give it that ever rose, like dark color. It's almost like a brighter rose.
It's
It's fire, and especially with the dial color on it.
right.
I mean,
Yeah,
the watch is pretty.
easily one of my favorite releases. So guys, I'm here hanging out at Happy Jewelers. Stay tuned, more content coming out here. And stop by Fullerton, California. Tell them the Time Teller sent you. These guys, again, I would not do business with literally anybody else. So
Thank you.
love you guys, seriously.
Thank you.